So we'll cross over to Jim Rabbit down in Werribee.
Here, entering the Picador room, where there are about 500 Labor Party supporters giving her a tumultuous welcome. There's no sign of Mr. Whitlam yet. This vast crowd of Labor supporters who've been waiting most patiently for their leader to appear are giving her a royal welcome. I'm just trying to get in the door here. It's a tremendous crush. He's been sent through as the advance guard. This is a very different scene. And here they go again with a cry for, "We want God." Earlier in the evening, Mr. Whitlam responded to such a call by making a brief appearance on the balcony of the motel, and he was given a great reception by the crowd. The people here in the Picador room of the El Toro Motel are not Labor Party hierarchy. They are campaign workers from Mr. Whitlam's own electorate. It's traditional in Mr. Whitlam's electorate for the party workers to get together on election evening to hold victory parties. Last election, the party was held at Mr. Whitlam's house, and it had attracted an overflow crowd of about 400 or 500 people, and the crush was tremendous. In fact, it got quite out of hand, and that was one of the reasons why it was decided this time, even if the house had been available, that the party would be held at another location. And the motel was chosen for the reason that it had a lot of space to accommodate the crowd, and also for security reasons. There's a very, very strong force of security police here tonight, most of them in plain clothes, and earlier this evening, they cleared from the motel grounds about 300 to 400 people who had been attending a dance here in the Picador room. Not all of them were Labor supporters, of course, and most of them were young. A very boisterous crowd indeed, and it was thought at one stage that it would be politic for Mr. Whitlam to come and address the people at the dance, but the security officers advised against it. Now, Mr. Whitlam has left his room, and it's all very confusing here now. We don't know where he's gone. He's gone to congratulate somebody at a wedding. We've lost Mr. Whitlam. He's gone to the other end of the motel for some reason. Mrs. Whitlam is still inside with the Labor Party supporters from her husband's electorate. Mr. Whitlam is now being photographed by a lot of pressmen crowding around him at the far end of the motel. I've been told that there was actually a wedding reception in another part of the motel, and he went down there to offer his congratulations. And now he's coming down the courtyard of the El Toro Motel, and he will join us here shortly in the courtyard to address the nation and answer questions from the press. I've just lost my microphone cord here. It's a scramble, but it's heading towards us. And here's the Prime Minister of Australia, Mr. Whitlam. He's not going to address the nation as originally expected. He's gone into the Picador room of the motel, where he's been given a tremendous welcome. It's chaotic again, just like the 72 election. All the best laid plans have fallen apart at the seams again. It was originally intended that in a controlled situation in the courtyard, Mr. Whitlam would make an address to the nation, but all the microphones are standing there ignored, and everybody is now trying to force their way inside the motel Picador room to follow Mr. Whitlam.
Can we watch the court?
Just listen to that welcome. The crowd here have no doubt about the outcome of the election. I'm just trying to get through to Mr. Whitlam now. He has been absolutely mobbed by his supporters, slapping him on the back. Well, there was a half-hearted attempt to sing what might be called Gough's song. Mr. Whitlam is making his way to the bandstand now to address his supporters. He's been joined by Mrs. Whitlam. The Prime Minister has a glass of beer in his hand.
Still surrounded by on stage with Mrs. Whitlam, Mr. Jeff Carl of the Australian Labor Party in New South Wales, and Mr. Whitlam enjoying the beer.
Australia wants you,
He's
Gough.
been closeted in the hotel room throughout the night.
He's making his way to the microphones now.
He's taken a microphone off the stage and will...
Chaotic here, unbelievably chaotic here, trying to get through to the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister.
Here presumably is a victory statement from the Prime Minister.
What do you want? Where can we stand up? What? Chair. Go on and get your chair. Get a chair. Get a chair.
I don't know whether that
Having a little trouble getting the microphone to work.
What? Can you? Is this working? Where is one? No, I want one with... Can you hear me here? Where's the microphone for this room here? Speak into it, Doc. We'll hear you, Doc. Ladies.